Welcome to Clock Tower. I'm Brandon, and today we're looking at Saekano. With Saekano's third release coming out, we wanted to look at Saekano and break down some different decks that we can look at from the new set. First up, we want to look at the Metalist. It doesn't change a whole lot from that last set that came out. There are a couple different cards that are tied in that are a little different. We did a video on the deck previous to this. Check out that video if you want to go into that deck in a little bit more detail. Essentially, you're playing into that level 1 combo Oboro, the idea that it bounces back to hands, you're saving resources for that end game, you're trying to compress into memory, so you're trying to get this big stockpile of memory, be able to cancel more often, so that way you kind of slow out the game and then take control, and with some pretty cheap heals, close out the game. That's kind of like the generic idea of Saekano here, playing into that pulling an all-nighter event, playing into effectively the pay 1 switch into the level 3 combo. You can only do that at level 3, but pay 1 heal is pretty nice. With that in mind, so that's kind of what that deck looks like. Some changes from that list then to this list now are what I want to really go over here. So I actually did end up cutting the level 0 Brainstormer that switches into the level 1 Brainstormer, in part because I think there's enough selection at 0, and I wanted to add in a couple different pieces. Our first piece that we're adding in from the new set is, in fact, this level 0. At the beginning of your opponent's attack phase, you can run away if your character is facing this card. It also has the ability, when it's reversed in battle, if it has no other red cards in memory, it goes to memory, and then it has a memory effect. When it's in memory, at the beginning of your main phase, you can pay 1, ditch 1, reveal a climax in hand, and then switch it for a climax in waiting room. So effectively, it's a pay 1, ditch 1 CX swap every turn of the game, without having to play a card to field. So having access to Climax Swap, I think, is actually really important here. With the bar, you're able to then swap into the Salvage at any time you want. On-demand Climax Swap at any point of the game as soon as it's in memory. Worth noting that it has to be the first red card into memory to make that happen. So essentially, you want to make sure that this is online before you have the level 0 Utaha go to memory. Additionally, at 1, we have another Megami card that I think is really important. So we're also adding in this anti-change bomb that allows us to be able to send that card to memory. So you're effectively removing a card that's higher than their opponent's level from the game with this in play. And this also can go to memory if you have 2 or less cards in memory already. So if the game's being rushed a little bit, this can also turn into a memory piece. When this is in memory, the beginning of your draw phase, you can look at the top of your deck and either place it on top or bottom. So effectively, if it's in memory, you're able to then scry the top card of your deck every turn. So effectively just giving you additional selection, being able to give you an additional filter piece off the top of the deck ready to go, as opposed to getting ready for your draw. I really like that kind of additional effect on top of a profile that's already pretty good. So being able to anti-change a character, as well as being able to all of a sudden then turn that into additional scry at the beginning of turn before you draw. Absolutely fantastic. And that's it. Those are the 2 cards from the old set that made its way into the new set. You'll notice that I cut the level 2 killer. There isn't that much level 2s in the meta currently to warrant that usage. You really want to be spamming over the Oboro combo anyway, and there's a lot less tools right now that get rid of the Oboro combo, just present. You're not running into Dal every other game where they have the blink that can go to the blink that can go to a blink and just remove your Oboro combo. You're really really leaning in towards that combo, really trying to just loop that every turn with this in play. I took out the level 1 bomb because realistically, this is just trying to loop that combo. You can side attack and get your twin drives off to make that happen. Everything here is exactly what you want it to be for this. You can power pump technically with the level 0 Airy. So you have not a terrible power line with some of that in play. So you have some pieces that you can actually step overboard with if it's already a decent size. So you have a lot of pieces and tools here to make this stuff happen. So the deck has not changed a whole lot from the last time to this time. Legitimately 5 cards total. With that in mind, there are some other decks that I would like to highlight as the new set comes out, but I want a little bit more time going over those decks and spending some more time with them before bringing them out here. So in 2 weeks, we're going to have Saekano Part 2, essentially. We're going to look at some of the other decks in the set and dive into those. With that in mind, thanks so much for watching. On Thursday, we're going to have some gameplay of this deck. On Tuesday, we're going to have a clock talk covering the regionals that just happened, as well as speculating towards the stream that's coming up on Friday the 19th. And then in 2 weeks, we will have that deck video for the rest of Saekano as we close out April. Again, thanks so much for watching. Sure, like, comment, subscribe, do the YouTube thing. Until next time, have a good one.